All right, we're back, and now we're going to talk about the Penn State side of things in this game, which was just disgraceful. What are your thoughts on Penn State in this loss?
Well, Penn State's a good team. They're a very good team.
Oh my
The
God.
thing is, James Franklin sucks. I'm going to wonder what is going to happen when they don't have a great quarterback, when they don't have a great running back. They've had Christian Hackenberg and Trace McSorley to bail them out of a lot of situations. They've had Saquon Barkley and Miles Sanders to bail them out of a lot of situations. When they don't have these guys, this is going to be a 4-win team. He is a terrible coach. Disgraceful.
Well, I feel like it's like this every week. They make some bonehead decisions, throw the game, hand the game to the other team, whether it's Ohio State or Michigan State, and then they're all surprised about why they lost. It's the same thing every week. Just terrible play calling, choking games away. All I have to say.
This happens every week. Every single week this happens. Ohio State plays the team, beats them, and then that team falls apart. Oregon State won one game. Rutgers hasn't won a game. CU, gone down the drain. Tulane, garbage. Penn State, garbage. Indiana. Next thing you know, Minnesota's going to go 2-20. It's unbelievable. Well, they're trying to screw us and not let us into the playoffs because they're making our schedule horrible.
Well, you're the one who put Oregon State on your schedule. And Tulane.
Yes, team.
Listen. So what is the genius game plan that James Franklin comes up with? He's facing the worst pass defense in the Big Ten, and what does he do? He runs about 20 quarterback runs with Trace McSorley. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And what does he do? What does he do with 4 minutes left? What does he do? He passes the football. He passes the football. That gives Michigan State 2 extra drives instead of 1. That's another choke that he had. Miles Sanders, he had 2 big runs, okay, but Trace McSorley put the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. Now, Trace McSorley was awful in this game. Don't get me wrong, he was terrible. He missed so many wide open throws. He's a middle tier quarterback in the Big Ten. I put him. He's mediocre at best. Because 2 straight years against Michigan State, he sucked. And he made a boneheaded play himself. On 3rd down, Michigan State only had 1 timeout left, and he goes out of bounds with 2 minutes left. That was.
You gotta trust your quarterback, though. Regardless of how he plays, you have to trust him with all he's done at Penn State.
Yeah, and James Franklin's an idiot. He's got KJ Hamler, the fastest kid on the field, and he doesn't give the ball to him all game against our shaky secondary. We couldn't get pressure on McSorley all day. And what does he do? Well, what does James Franklin do? He just runs about 10 quarterback runs. On 3rd and 6, he's running the ball. I mean, it's stupid. He is the worst coach in the Big Ten. He is terrible. He's talking about being elite. Well, his team would be elite if they didn't have him as a head coach. God, and they're going to go 8-4. They're going to go 8-4, just like I said at the start of the season. And it's all because of their coach and their mediocre quarterback play.
For a team that just beat Penn State, you're awfully heated about this.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we all know he's terrible.
Jim Harbaugh coaches circles around this guy. It's ridiculous.
It's all Penn State's fault. Who hires a coach from Vanderbilt?
Okay.
That's like hiring the Kentucky coach.
Mark Stoops would be a way better coach than this guy. I mean, come on.
It's
Give me Lovie Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Hire a coach from a non-football school.
Give me Lovie Smith.
Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith, who's aged about 10 years in just 2 years at Illinois. Okay, let's move on. Ohio State struggles with Minnesota. Only ahead 20-14. Was this a bad game or a sign of what's to come?
Bad game. Doesn't matter. Look at all the teams that lost in the top 10. People are talking about Ohio State like the sky is falling. They're fine.
The sky is falling.
Okay, first of all, the only problem right now is the fact that we keep running a zone read, but it's not even a read. He's not reading anything. He's just handing the ball off.
Well,
Hand the ball off, just hand the ball off.
he's got to do those RPOs, like McSorley.
No, we're not starting on this again.
McSorley, who cannot read an RPO himself either.
No, it's not an RPO. If they could just do power runs instead of freaking RPO or a zone read, maybe we could get the running game going. But it's hard to get the running game going when everybody knows you're doing a zone read and you're not going to keep it. Other than that, the defense has been okay. It was better this game. We need to tackle better.
Oh, yeah?
Our
You let
linebacker
Mohamed
play-
Ibrahim go for over 160 yards rushing?
He went for 157.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Him, no. We just need to tackle better. That's our biggest problem in defense. Our linebacker play has been underwhelming. We've missed Luke Fickle. You can tell. Other than that, Dwayne Haskins on pace to win the Heisman, another 400-yard game.
Speaking of Luke Fickle, he's got the best team in Ohio right now.
Now, Vince Karras does.
No.
He's
No.
coach of Mount Union.
Mount Union. Well, Cincinnati would beat Mount Union by a touchdown.
No.
Alex, what are your thoughts on this?
I am actually a little worried for them. Mostly, this game should have been a blowout. In the Indiana game, they should have won by a lot more. So, I mean, a win is a win, but if you're not beating the teams how you should, I guess. Because no one cares if you can beat Oregon State by 50. No one cares about that.
I care. Oregon State's a good football team.
A solid 2-win team.
They're an average NCAA FBS team.
Hey, Mike.
What?
Are we going to talk about how your boys from Cal went down against UCLA?
No.
Yeah? Well,
UCLA
you said
still going
Cal-
1-11.
Okay, but you said Cal was a great team.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, on multiple
All right.
occasions you said that.
Let's relax. Let's relax.
Okay, I'm going to start with the Minnesota side of things. I'm a big PJ Fleck fan. He's going to have this Minnesota program rolling in just a couple of years. He burned it all down last year, and he burned it down again by starting Axelrod, whoever the heck that guy's name is. That's that quarterback. Engelstead? What the heck? I don't even know what his name is.
David said.
Whatever his name is. And he's got this 500-pound offensive lineman that he plucked from Florida. I don't know how he recruits these guys to Minnesota. Minnesota's going to have a monster O-line in a couple of years with a monster running game and Axelrod at quarterback. Minnesota really showed that they're on the come up with this game. This was equivalent to a statement win for them. As for Ohio State, it's troubling. It's troubling that you let up 157 rushing yards to Ibrahim from Minnesota. And I don't see Nick Bosa coming back anytime soon. If I was him, I wouldn't come back at all. I would just get ready for the NFL draft. And Ohio State is not, and they're going to be facing much better rush offenses later in the season.
He'll be back to haunt Michigan, and he'll be back for our playoff run.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes,
Well,
I
they
know
really
so.
miss him. They really miss him on his rush defense, and they really...
I talked to his agent yesterday.
What?
I talked to his agent yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Told me-
Okay.
I'm sorry, his advisor, not his agent. His advisor.
Oh, yeah. So, if I'm Ohio State, I better be worried. Because, especially this week against Purdue, I'd be shitting my pants. Going into that environment against a Purdue team that's rolling, I would be scared. Okay, let's move on. LSU blows the doors off of Georgia, 36-16. What are your thoughts on this game?
Unsurprising. Georgia's fraud. LSU is a very good team. Wasn't what I expected.
Not surprised. Georgia hasn't played anybody, and they played a good team. Tough road environment, and they got.
They played a good Austin, PA team.
That's their best win.
I'm sorry. I forgot.
You don't sound sorry.
I'm not sorry. They suck. No, but Luke's man, Joe Burrow, showed up.
Joe Burrow! No, he did not. He was 15 for 30.
Joe Burrow!
Average at best.
I just wanted to say Joe Burrow for Luke.
He's a winner. I don't care if he's 0 for 80. He's a winner.
He gets that mentality from Cardale Jones.
Exactly.
Cardale Jones.
And J.C. Barrett.
Cardale Jones. Cardale Jones. The whole state of Ohio is counting on Cardale Jones.
Mike, what do you think about it?
Well, go Tigers, first of all. What a win. What a win for Coach O. He's got this program rolling. This is an example of a coach that's so bad it works. That's how Coach O is just so bad at coaching that he's good. And Georgia sucks. All right, any more thoughts on this?
Yes. LSU is going to win the SEC. They're absolutely nasty. All right, Joe Burrow take time is later. That's not even a hot take. Joe Burrow is a winner. He was taught that by none other than Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer's a winner?
Urban Meyer taught him how to be a winner.
Urban Meyer teaches people how to go to jail.
Well, Joe Burrow is a winner.
Does that mean Joe Burrow will be in jail in a couple of years?
Nope. He is a winner. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Go Tigers. Okay, let's move on. Oregon beats Washington 30-27. What are your thoughts on this game?
Washington sucks. Oregon is good. They should have beat Stanford. I think they'll be in the conversation. They'll win the Pac-12 and they'll be in the conversation for the playoff at the end of the year.
No.
Agreed.
I got Wazoo winning the Pac-12.
Oh, God.
Hey, college game day. College game day.
The Pac-12 goes through Pullman. Alex, what are your thoughts?
I thought it was a good game. I mean, I think Oregon, was the more overall the better team, more balanced team.
No.
I just don't know how in overtime you let the guy go untouched up the middle for the game-winning touchdown.
Or how you missed the 33-yard field goal to win the game at the end of regulation.
Oh, that too.
Brings back memories.
But you can't play Jake Browning for that. He's a top 10 quarterback.
Just like Jake Walker.
Who?
Jake Walker.
Who the heck is that?
He was nasty on the Titans.
Don't you say that. Let's calm down.
Oh, Jake Locker. Oh, I thought you said Jake Walker.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what's up with Chris Peterson. If my goal, if I'm Chris Peterson, is to become Kicker U, because he has had the worst kickers of any school besides Alabama. Going back to his Boise State days, he was a 33-yard field goal away from going to the national championship at Boise State. And what does this kicker do? He blows it, absolutely blows it, and misses another one in overtime. Last year, they could have had a shot of going to the playoff if they didn't go 0 for 4 at Arizona State with field goals. Their kicker missed all 4. And what do they do this year? They have a chance to kick the game-winning field goal, and they miss. Chris Peterson needs to become kicker U. That's his goal. That's what his goal should be. As for Oregon, they'll lose next week, so it doesn't matter. But Auburn falls to Tennessee. Embarrassing performance from Jarrett Stidham. Again.
Stidham was okay.
He was awful.
He was all right. Auburn falls to 1-3 in conference. No.
That's a fact.
Tennessee is a solid team.
No, they're not.
You cannot doubt Tennessee.
Yeah, Will Greer put up 41 on that defense.
It's tough.
Oh, it's tough. Oh, yeah, it's tough.
Okay. That's the second time this year that Auburn's defense has crapped themselves in the field.
How about your playoff picks? How is Texas Tech doing? How is Miami doing? How is Auburn doing?
No. The defense did not suck. It would still be in line.
If Stidham is that good, shouldn't he put up like 400 yards on that terrible Tennessee defense?
These SEC defenses are very, very good. This is not the Big 12.
My gosh!
No, they're not good.
Will Greer's from the Big 12, you smartass!
Fighting off the SEC. No. Tennessee's defense is better than any defense in the Big 12.
Tua will go 9 for 12 for 300 yards on a gimpy leg this week. Watch.
Joe Burrow went 15 for 30 for 200 yards.
What'd you say, Chris?
Tua will not even be playing on Saturday.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. Jalen Hurts will go 28 for 30 for 250 yards.
Okay. I don't know what your point is. Alabama is better than Auburn. I don't know what your point is.
My point is that Stidham sucks, and that Tennessee's defense sucks. Will Greer embarrassed them.
Very good.
Will Greer is 10 times better. 10 times better than Jarrett Stidham is.
No. The Tennessee defense is very, very good.
No, they're not. No, they are not.
This is slander.
Oh, is it?
Against the SEC.
Is it slander?
Yes, it is.
That's ridiculous.
That's like saying Rutgers has a good defense in the Big 12 because they.
No. The SEC has far better defenses than does the Big 10. Aside from Michigan and Ohio State.
No, he's saying if you put Rutgers in the Big 12, they'd have a good defense. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they would. If Rutgers was in the Big 12, they're the best defense in the conference.
Behind TCU.
No. They would have the best defense in the conference.
No.
Florida put up 47 points on them. Florida hasn't had a good offense.
Felipe Franks is better. Felipe Franks is better than Jarrett Stidham.
That's true.
No response?
Joe Burrow's the best quarterback in the SEC.
No duh! No duh!
All right. I cannot continue this illogical conversation.
Jarrett Stidham is just awful.
Blows.
Terrible.
Okay.
He's going to lose to Alabama, lose to,
No, he's not. They're going to beat Alabama.
they're going to lose. Who do they play this week? Ole Miss? They're going to lose to Ole Miss because Tuamu's better.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. They'll probably lose to Arkansas, too. Watch. Arkansas is on the come-up. Arkansas's got a great defense.
They do have a good defense.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
They played well against Arkansas.
What?
Auburn already beat Arkansas.
What was the score of that game?
34-3.
Oh, yeah. Arkansas's defense is great if Jarrett Stidham put up 34 on him.
Well, Jarrett Stidham is the best quarterback in the country, so.
Well, Washington's defense sucked, and he only put up 21 on them.
He's not even the best quarterback in his state.
He's not even a top 5 quarterback in his state.
Yeah, he's the best quarterback in the country. There are high school quarterbacks in Alabama better than him. Oh, yeah, okay.
I will take the top 3 Alabama quarterbacks, the UAB quarterback, and the Troy quarterback over him.
And Tua's brother, who's playing high school in Alabama. If he goes in the top 10 of the NFL draft, we'll see what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll take Alabama State's quarterback.
I will take Brian Lewerke over him, and I will still say that.
Take UAB's quarterback, and they almost lost their football program.
UAB is good this year. All right, I think we've covered this topic well enough. Miami falls to Virginia. Just embarrassing. Bronco Mendenhall. Are you kidding me, Mark Richt? This is the worst loss of the season by any team in college football. This is terrible.
Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion.
No, but this is worse. This is worse.
No, it's not.
This is worse.
I actually picked Virginia to beat Miami at the beginning of the season when I came out with my formal pick.
Oh, right.
I did. You can go back and look. I sent it to the chat. I had Miami going 11-1, losing to Virginia. Miami, it's a tough go for them. That's a tough playoff pick for me. They suck.
Yeah, because your picks suck.
The ACC Coastal will have a 7-way tie for first place at 4-4.
Miami's just not good.
They suck.
Any game this year. They're just not good.
They're the fifth best team in Florida. I will take Florida State over them.
Okay, let's relax. They beat Florida.
Hold up the turnover chain.
They barely beat them. They barely beat them at home. If that game was at Florida State, the Tomahawk Chop would have willed them to a win. No.
And you know what? Miami needs to bench Malik Rozier. I've had enough.
They did. They benched him. They put Nikhil Posey in, and they benched him.
Yes, they need to bench Rozier for good. Move on.
Bench everybody. Wildcat.
Bench Mark Richt. He needs a new job. He needs to be fired. He's done a terrible job. Just a terrible job. Lost to a fraud Wisconsin team in the Orange Bowl at home. It's just embarrassing. Lost to Pitt. That's embarrassing. Lost to Virginia. Are you kidding me? Next, he's going to lose to Louisville. Watch. Louisville, who's the worst team in the ACC this year. Miami just sucks. Again. Let's move on. Let's move on to the Big 12. The Big 12 seems to be wide open right now with Texas at the top. West Virginia, with their terrible loss to Iowa State, is in second place. So what do you guys think about the Big 12 this year?
I still see Oklahoma coming out of there. It's been wide open, but overall, it's a pretty deep conference if you look at all the teams. There are a lot of good teams in that conference.
Oh, you think?
Very good. Texas is very good. West Virginia is very good. Iowa State's pretty good. TCU is pretty good. Oklahoma State is decent. So, I mean, it's a deep conference. I still see Oklahoma coming out of there.
Texas is back. Are you kidding me?
Texas is back. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk, KU. Kansas is running the table.
Okay.
Interesting.
Even if they ran the table, that would put them at 6-3, which would not be number one. Even if they ran the table. Or two.
Rock, chalk, Jayhawk. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk.
First off, I'd like to say I told you guys Iowa State was taking down West Virginia.
Okay.
Iowa State is so underrated. They've played so many tough games, so many close games. I like Iowa State, but they're not going to win. It's Oklahoma's conference to lose right now.
No. It's Texas's to lose. They're 4-0 in conference.
They're going to show Texas football's not back until they finish the season on
Nope,
top.
that's just false. They are back, and they are fully back. They will destroy Texas Tech. They will destroy TCU.
Oh, I forgot about Texas Tech.
They're
nasty.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you're going to change your pick now?
In Cliff, we trust.
He's like the Jason Garrett of college football. He goes 500 every single year.
I'm sorry, I changed my pick.
If you look, Texas is the clear number 1. West Virginia's already starting to choke. They'll probably go 7-5. They're not going to be very good. They'll be like Tennessee. They'll go 7-5 and still be ranked at the end of the year.
True.
Oklahoma will be in the Big 12 championship against Texas, and Texas will win again. Texas Tech's a fraud. Baylor's good. Iowa State's good. TCU's good. Oklahoma State sucks. Kansas State sucks. Kansas sucks. Okay, but let's move on to hot takes. This is a new segment we're doing. What do you guys have for hot takes this week?
I have 2.
Is this for the season or just for next week?
For the season.
For the season?
I
got mine. I have mine.
My first one is Texas Tech will win the Big 12.
Okay.
My second is Auburn will run the table.
Oh my God.
I told you those were going to be.
You've said that after every loss.
Chris. No, they will run the table.
They'll lose to Ole Miss. They'll lose to Ole Miss, and you'll say the same thing next week. Oh, they'll run the table.
Mike, what's yours?
All right. Mine is Northwestern will win the West.
No, Iowa's going to win the West.
No. Northwestern will win the West because Iowa will choke to Northwestern.
Did you see your boy Nate Stanley go off?
He sucks.
He's nasty. They're ranked now.
So? They're ranked every year. They always... They were ranked last year and they went 7-5. They go 7-5 every year. They always get...
For real this year.
No, they're not for real.
It's different.
Can they beat a good team? Wisconsin sucks. They have not beaten a decent team all year.
How many losses do they have? Just one?
One to Wisconsin at home.
They could be in the playoff conversation.
That's an embarrassing loss. Wisconsin is terrible.
I can see them making the college football playoff.
Even if they won out, they would not make the playoff because they don't have the resume.
Yes, they would. If they beat Michigan or Ohio State in the Big Ten
No.
championship, yes, they would.
No, that's ridiculous. Sorry, a win. Plus, they're going to lose to Purdue. They're going to lose to Northwestern. They're going to go. They'll find a way to go 7-5, just like they do every year.
Iowa's back. You can't be back from something you never were.
What are they back from 2015? What are your...
Alex, what's your hot take?
Me?
Yeah.
Mackenzie Milton finishes second in the Heisman voting.
That's interesting.
You gotta be kidding me.
If UCF goes undefeated and Mackenzie Milton goes off, I can understand why.
If they win out, he's a top 3 Heisman candidate.
Okay.
Can I add something else, Mike?
Yeah.
Alex Hornibrook is the worst quarterback in the Big Ten.
No. Trace McSorley. I'll take him over Trace McSorley any day.
Oh, yeah? Well, how is 3 for 15, 25 yards, and 2 picks with 4 minutes left in the fourth?
How is having no wide receivers? How about, or tight ends?
I don't care. He was inaccurate all night.
I mean, Lewerke doesn't have anything either. But, I mean, whatever. Listen, Alex Hornibrook, I watched him. He went 2 for 5 when I was watching him. So, he's good.
Luke, what's your hot take? UCF will make the playoff. Okay.
Yes, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, it's a hot take.
You just said Auburn was running the table. I just said that to get Chris mad.
All right, what's your...
If UCF and Auburn played again, if they played 100 times, Auburn will win 99%.
That is ridiculous.
Mackenzie Milton.
Auburn can't even beat Tennessee.
Every single time.
UCF should not even be ranked.
Unbelievable. You are just... I'll take UCF over Texas.
My other hot take. Oh, really?
Yep.
I will.
I will also take UCF over Texas.
Okay.
Mackenzie Milton is so much better than Ellinger. It's not even funny.
So, who cares?
Mackenzie Milton's the best Hawaiian quarterback in the country. Don't at me.
Here's my hot take. Iowa
No. Just
That's the take.
no. Matt Kuchar's going to go 7-5 again, like he did last year. Iowa State and Iowa are pretty similar. They both are ranked every year, and they both find a way to go 7-5.
How about this hot take? Oregon will make the playoff. I like it.
That's just no. They're losing this week. They can't have 2 losses and make the playoff.
They're not going to lose this week. How about
That is ridiculous.
Michigan's gonna lose on an RPO to Penn State? That's enough.
How about this hot take? James Franklin doesn't choke at the end of a game.
Holy shit, that is the hottest of all.
How about the Big Ten will have 8 coach openings at the end of the year?
Did you say 8? Okay. I think we need to move on from this.
Chris had the worst hot takes I think I've ever seen.
All right. I took the 4 biggest polls for college basketball for preseason, and I averaged them out.
You better not have used Andy Katz's poll.
Oh, yes, I did. Let me just point out Michigan State. Michigan State was a consensus number 1 team to start the year, and Rutgers was a consensus number 14 team. Stupid Rutgers, which is just unbelievable. They do lose Sanders, but that doesn't mean anything. They have an elite coach in Peichel. I will also point out that the 3 ESPN, SI, and 24/7 Sports had Michigan number 2, and Andy Kratz had Michigan number 5. So that is why Michigan is average rank of 2.75. Ohio State's all the way down at 9, with an average rank of 9.25. Let's talk about Big Ten basketball. What do you guys think about this year? Who will be good?
I'd like to start with Andy Katz slandering the Big Ten by putting Michigan at 5. Are you kidding me?
I actually liked his ranking. He did a good job.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yep, because he put Michigan State at 1. That's all that matters.
Michigan State and Michigan are the 2 best teams in the Big Ten. Pick your team. I don't care who you want out number 1.
Yeah, but it goes Michigan State, then a cliff, then Michigan, then a cliff.
No, it's not. It's Michigan State. It's Michigan State, Michigan, and then a large cliff.
No. Oh, and by the way,
2 weeks ago, Michigan was the best team
Nebraska.
in the Big Ten, so I don't know how you flipped so fast.
Nebraska is number 3 according to the 4 polls. Indiana and Purdue are tied for number 4, which is
Purdue is very underrated.
They have no depth at all.
Is it, Mike, is it true Matt Harms is starting to shoot threes now?
That's right. Matt Harms is shooting 3s this year.
By the way, my Jarrett Stidham of college basketball will be Tyus Battle, who enters his 7th year at Syracuse.
All right, we don't bring up that name.
Mike loves the zone defense.
If you bring up Tyus Battle or Dolajai ever again, we'll have problems.
All I have to say is you slept on us last year, and you're sleeping on us this year.
Okay, so who's your candidate C up this year? Caleb Wesson?
No.
Badass down.
Andre Weston.
Andre Wesson? Okay.
Joey Lane.
Here's my problem with Ohio State. They lost their best player, and they can't replace him. And Andrew Dockich.
Andrew Dockich is a GA this year. He's a graduate assistant, so watch out.
Is he actually?
Yes, he is.
If he is, I'm picking Ohio State in the top 5. Anyways, Michigan State, by far the best team. By far the most talent. Now it comes down to will they choke at the end? I'm hoping not, because I'm hoping our choke player left in Miles Bridges. Hopefully he's gone. So, and Tom Izzo has choked over the past couple of years, but he's not known as a choking coach, so I'm hoping he can get it together. Michigan's a good team. Maryland's a good team. Maryland's a little slightly underrated. Indiana's got an experienced team. Anyways, the Big Ten will suck again this year. The Big Ten will suck again this year.
Everybody's sleeping on Illinois, too. They're a pretty good team. I'm not kidding either.
Brad Underwood. Underrated coach.
Yeah.
That's true. Dude, Stephen F. Austin was nasty for a couple years.
You know that award they give for the basketball and football coach? Like, who the best combination is?
Yeah.
It's going to be Lovie Smith and Brad Underwood.
No. It's going to be Steve Peichel and Chris Ash.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's a battle, though. Those two combinations are good. All right. Let's go to picks. Luke is still number 1. Chris is now 4 games back. Alex is 7. I'm 14 games back. We'll start with Michigan at Michigan State.
Listen, Michigan is clearly the better team. They're much more talented, as they are every year.
That's not true.
State has a great run defense, and we are very good running the football. And I 100% will guarantee you that Jim Harbaugh is going to go out and try and run the football in this game. They will get behind, and they are not known as a team. They did against Northwestern. They're not known as a team that can come back and win big games. They definitely don't have the coaching advantage. I'm taking Michigan State at home.
You are a disgrace to Michigan fans. I'm definitely taking Michigan. They're one of the hotter teams in the country right now.
No, they beat a crappy Wisconsin team.
No, they're not. Well, they blew them out like they should have.
A below-average Wisconsin team. They did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, not unlike Northwestern where they had to come from behind. I think the offense is rolling. As long as they don't try to run the ball 10 times.
That's what they're going to try and do, Alex. They're clearly the better team, but that's what they're going to try and do because Harbaugh sucks.
All right, let's relax.
Luke.
I'm taking Michigan. Give me
taking Michigan just because Michigan State has so many injuries. Only reason why. Well, you can't look past our injuries.
Oh my God! You don't have. Give me a break. Rashawn Gary out helps you. Rashawn Gary's a fat pig.
He sucks in big games. I'll give you that.
He's got the lowest motor.
Chase Winovich.
Any player. Now, yeah, if Chase Winovich was out, then that would hurt. But like you said, it's Michigan's run offense versus Michigan State's run defense. The only place where Michigan State is better than Michigan is the defensive line with big Mike Panashuk and Raekwon Williams, who are 2 elite defensive linemen for Michigan State in the middle.
Are you comparing your defensive line to our offensive line, or are you comparing defensive line?
Defensive line to your offensive line.
Okay.
Now, whoever wins that battle, that's the only chance Michigan State has to win the game, is if they win that battle. They hold Karan Higdon to 2 or 3 yards a carry and make Shea Patterson throw the football. I'm not convinced he can throw it. I haven't seen any signs that tell me Shea Patterson is a good college quarterback. I haven't seen.
I agree.
He's very inaccurate with the football. I don't care about all his arm talent. But on the other side, Michigan State just has no chance against Michigan's defense. Brian Lewerke will be sacked. I think the over-under for him being sacked is about 7. I'm going to go over on that. This offensive line is a disgrace to offensive lines. Michigan will be living in Michigan State's backfield. I would be shocked if Michigan State got a run over 3 yards from their running backs all game long. I'm going to go with Michigan 35-7. Next pick. Oklahoma at TCU.
TCU sucks. They are really struggling right now. Oklahoma is going to go in there and blow the doors off them.
I have TCU winning this game. Oklahoma's struggling a little bit lately. I think if they can lock up Kyler Murray, I think they'll be fine. I got TCU. And Gary Patterson we trust.
Luke?
The game is at 12. Oklahoma is 1-6 in their last 7 games played at noon.
No, you're joking. There's no way that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no way.
I'm taking Oklahoma, though. I think they'll break the curse.
I'm surprised you didn't take TCU. I thought you'd want TCU to keep winning.
No, doesn't matter.
Okay.
We run the table, we'd be in.
Well, I'm going to go. We've seen this before. Penn State, they lose a big game. They lose another game after this. I'm going to go with Gary Patterson and TCU. Give me the Horned Frogs. No. For me, I don't even care anymore. I don't know what you want. You don't understand. I don't care anymore. It's over. Virginia at Duke.
Virginia is not a good football team. They beat Miami, but I'll take Duke.
Yeah, Duke is nasty. Give me Duke.
Let's relax. I'll take Duke.
I'm gonna just because all three of you said Duke, I'm gonna roll with Virginia, but I think Duke will win the game. So, and here's why Virginia will win, because Daniel Jones will get injured. So I'm gonna pick Virginia. NC State at Clemson.
Listen, I believe Clemson is going to lose somewhere along the line. But NC State is the biggest fraud if I've ever seen one. They play crappy teams and beat them by about 3
Auburn's the biggest fraud I've ever seen.
No. They're going to get slaughtered by Clemson.
No. Upset of the week. Clemson's going down. Give me NC State. They played them tough last year.
The year before, they were a field goal away from beating him.
Yes, that was terrible.
Well, Kelly Bryant sucks, but...
I'm going to take Clemson.
Okay. NC State has played, like Alex said, they've played Clemson tough. They've got a nasty quarterback. But I'm still going to take Clemson. Give me Clemson. Minnesota at Nebraska.
Listen, this is my upset of the week right here. Nebraska
Don't you dare.
gets the best win in the Scott
That's not an
Frost
upset.
era.
Nebraska is favored.
Okay, fine. Well, Nebraska will win, and they will get the best win in the Scott Frost era this week.
Two great coaches going at it. I still like Minnesota.
The two futures of the Big Ten. Two future coaches of the Big Ten. Right?
Yep.
Luke, who you got?
Well, will Scott Frost get his statement win this year? No, he won't. Minnesota, row the boat. Row the boat.
I liked what I saw from Minnesota. PJ Fleck is going to row the boat up the, whatever, if there's a river that even goes from Minnesota to Nebraska. I guess. Maybe it does the Mississippi. I don't even know. Well, yeah, I think so. The Mississippi. Roll up the Mississippi into Lincoln, and he'll just blow the doors off of Nebraska with Axelrod at quarterback. Give me Minnesota. Penn State at Indiana.
Penn State will bounce back. They're just a very superior team.
Yeah, give me Penn State. This isn't even close.
This will be the win that makes Penn State elite, as James Franklin said.
Well, so Tom Allen will have a heart attack on the sideline because all he does is yell at his players because they always get destroyed in big games. It'll happen again. I got Penn State 77-5 in this game because all they do is beat up on bad teams. Penn State beats up on bad teams. They will beat up on Indiana. I like Penn State 77-5. Colorado at Washington.
These are the two biggest frauds in college football, and they might be right here. I'll take Washington only because they're at home.
Yep, give me Washington.
I think Washington will bounce back and win.
Well, I mean, Chris Peterson was a missed field goal away from having one loss right now. But Colorado, Mike McIntyre, rolling the boat in from Colorado. Steven Montez. Give me Colorado.
Can we just take a look at Colorado's schedule? They played Colorado State, Nebraska, University of New Hampshire, UCLA, Arizona State, and USC. That might be the worst Power 5 schedule in the nation.
What about Ohio State?
No. We don't play FCS teams like New Hampshire or teams that only win one game a year like UCLA.
What about Oregon State? I'm pretty sure that's the team that wins one game a year.
Or teams that haven't won a game yet like Nebraska.
Okay. They played them on the road, though.
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Alabama at Tennessee. Alabama is favored by 28.5 points, even though Tua's not even sure if Tua's going to play.
All right. Get ready. This is the week. Alabama goes down. I got Tennessee.
It's a tradition. After Auburn loses to an opponent, Chris will pick that opponent the next week. So he'll be picking Ole Miss next week.
Why is Chris still on this podcast?
I wanted to do
Alabama by 150.
Alabama. I don't even know why. The only reason we're picking this game is because Chris said he'd take Tennessee.
Yeah, I wanted to do Memphis, Missouri. I would have taken Memphis. Okay. I'm going to take Alabama, and they're going to double the spread. So that means they win by 56 points. I'm going to take Alabama by 56 points. Mississippi State at LSU.
LSU. They will win this week.
Oh, you sure? Mississippi State beat Auburn.
Mississippi State's a good team, but I'm going to have to roll with LSU.
Chris, were you serious about the Alabama pick, though?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Will Greer put up 41 points. And Tua's going to put up...
Will Tennessee score more than 3 points this game?
I could start at quarterback for Alabama and just hand it off 40 times, and they'd win by 50 points.
Nope.
Wait, what was the game? Mississippi State, LSU?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, Luke. Give me LSU.
Joe Burrow, the best quarterback in the SEC.
Give me
Ohio
LSU.
State quarterbacks are 12-1 on the year this year between Joe Burrow and Dwayne Haskins. So, gonna roll with Go Tigers, Joe Burrow.
Go Tigers! Well, we know that Mississippi State win against Auburn doesn't mean anything anymore. Mississippi State's still a fraud. I'm going to take LSU by like 35 points. Vanderbilt at Kentucky. A big rivalry game.
Let's see here.
The battle of the country music.
Listen, Vanderbilt has hung tough with a couple of good teams. They hung tough with Notre Dame. They hung tough with Florida. They also barely beat Tennessee State, and they got destroyed by Georgia. But I really don't like Kentucky. I'm taking Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I am too. I'm also taking Vandy. They played Florida tough last week, even though Florida is grossly overrated. Yeah. I'm taking Vandy.
Well, this was going to be my upset of the week, and I'm taking Vanderbilt.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I'm going to change my pick to Kentucky just because everyone else is taking Vanderbilt.
This was also my upset of the week. I'm going to take Kentucky just to split it. Okay, next game. Oregon at number 25, Wazoo.
I'm just appalled that College Game Day is going here.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you!
By 50 points.
Ridiculous. Wait,
Yeah, Mike, give me Washington State, Mike.
wait, Chris picked Oregon or Washington State? Oregon, right?
I took Oregon.
Okay.
Washington State, baby.
Oregon has been disrespected all year. Absolutely disrespected.
I haven't heard a word about Washington State. They've been disrespected.
Washington State is the worst team in the Pac-12. 62% chance to win this game. 62%. That is absurd. Oregon is going to walk into Pullman, and they're going to walk out in about 30 seconds after they go up by
That is absurd! How dare you? How dare you?
Pac-12 runs through Pullman.
Mike Leach! How dare you disrespect Mike Leach? This man has done so much for such a crappy program in Washington State.
Mike Leach is going to take his 4-mile walk to the stadium. He's going to have a heart attack.
Have you heard of this man? Gardner Minshew II? One of the best quarterbacks in America. He's better than Luke Falk. This is the best Washington State team that has ever been assembled on a football field. Mike Leach has got them rolling. He's got them rolling. Washington State beat Utah, who beat Stanford by over 30. I've got Washington State by 28 points at home.
That is absurd.
And Mario Cristobal is the James Franklin of the West Coast. I can't trust anything that guy does. I'm going to take Mike Leach in Washington State. All right.
Well,
Play a 14-game back.
Ohio State at Purdue.
I really want to pick Purdue, but they're just so bad in comparison to Ohio State. It is really disgraceful why Saturday Night Football is going.
Where are they going to go?
Ohio State will win the game in the first 5 minutes.
Where is Saturday Night Football going to go?
Saturday Night Football should have been in Death Valley. I don't know why they want to schedule a 3:30 game for Clemson and NC State.
For crappy Mississippi State? Are you kidding me?
Clemson
Oh.
No, Clemson. Death Valley, Clemson.
No! That's ridiculous. The Clemson game... The Clemson game spread is larger than the Ohio State game spread.
That's ridiculous.
That is not ridiculous. Alex, who do you have?
I'm sticking with Ohio State.
this is my biggest upset of the week. No, I'm just kidding. Ohio State's going to win by 45 points. It's not even going to be close. Purdue is absolutely awful. Dwayne Haskins is going to throw for another 450 yards this week, and it's going to be an absolute blowout.
There's a reason why their quarterback's last name is Blow.
The disrespect thrown towards Purdue. I can't believe it. They may have lost to Eastern, but they hung tough with Missouri, blew the doors off of Boston College. They've been great so far in conference play. Only blemish was to Northwestern on the first day of the year. Their defense is for real. Jeff Brom's got that team ready to go. David Blow is a great quarterback. Who's that wide receiver they have who's nasty? Whatever his name is, he's nasty. Ohio State is going to go in to West Lafayette and get their doors blown off by Purdue, just like they did last year against Iowa. It'll be even worse this time. I got Purdue 62-17. Haskins will still throw for 400 yards, but it won't matter because Purdue will just keep on scoring. All right.
That's worse than the Tennessee pick.
No, it's not. You guys disrespect Purdue. I can't believe it. Purdue's going to go in, and they're going to beat Ohio State. They're going to just blow the doors off of Michigan State next week. Purdue is the most underrated team in the Big Ten, and it's not even close.
They lost to Eastern.
It doesn't. Well, we're putting that loss behind them, didn't they? They put the loss behind them. Hung tough with Missouri. Beat a overrated Boston College team.
Okay. So Auburn has put all three of their losses behind him then.
No, this Purdue.
Yep.
I never said Purdue was better than Auburn, but they are. They actually are better.
Oh, really?
I would take Purdue easily. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a bowl matchup. Maybe the Music City Bowl. Purdue versus Auburn.
That's too high of a bowl.
Yeah, Auburn will be probably in the Boca Raton Bowl or something versus FAU.
SMU.
All right. That is going to do it for this episode of the Big Four Podcast. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you next time.